it's Sarah. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Today it is so exciting. We have our first Christmas DIY video for 2019. You guys, it's early, but we all know that Dollar Tree puts out their Christmas stuff super duper early. I know that it's early, but I have Christmas on the brain, and these DIYs are so amazing. You are not going to want to miss them. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. And if it's your first time seeing me or coming to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Sarah. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 2 little boys. I live in Philly, and I'm all about that Dollar Tree life. If you guys are obsessed with Dollar Tree as much as I am, please consider subscribing. We put out new videos every single week. I would love to have you. Without further ado, you guys, let's get started on DIY number 1. We're going to get started by taking this sign that's from the Dollar Tree in the Halloween section, and we're going to be flipping it over and using the back portion. I'm going to be giving the back portion of that jack-o'-lantern sign 2 coats of white chalk paint. You want to let it dry and you want it to be as opaque as possible. So use whatever paint that you have on hand, but I like chalk paint because it dries quickly. I find mine at Walmart for a couple of bucks, and I really like the way that it turns out in the end. For the top hat portion of our snowman, I'm going to be using the Beware sign that you can find at Dollar Tree in the Halloween section. I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut it to the size that I wanted it to be. I'm just going to give it the same coat of black chalk paint as I did for the brim part, and then you want to let both of those dry completely.
Whatever happened to the rest of the year? It went by so fast, I barely did see it. Now I'm calling all angels high, if you are there.
Once they're completely dried, I'm just using hot glue to attach them together, and then I'm using just my regular old hot glue to attach it to the top portion of our sign. This is going to cover up that wonky little part that we see at the top and make it look much more like a snowman. I started to create the eyes for the snowman. I wanted it to look as symmetrical as possible, because if it looks off or one eye is bigger than the other, it can look a little bit wonky. So I'm measuring the center of the face and just using a few dots of pencil to mark that. And then to outline the eyes, I'm just tracing some googly eyes that I got from Dollar Tree for another project, and I'm just using pencil to trace that out, and then I'm going to paint the inside of the eyes with that same black chalk paint.
I find myself wandering downtown.
One of my favorite parts of this snowman is his nose, and I reused a carrot that I found at Dollar Tree in the Easter section, and I'm using it in this project. I know not everybody is going to have some old Dollar Tree items laying around to use. If you do, use them because it makes it look amazing, but if you don't, then you can use just regular old paint and paint the nose on. Whatever you have, use that, but I feel like using the Dollar Tree carrot for his nose really set the tone for this project. Next, we're going to create the mouth, and I struggled here to make sure that they were all nice and even, so I did have to go back towards the end and fix them, but I'm just using pencil to trace, and then I'm going to go and try to use pencil, and then I tried to use marker. I think I ended up just using the marker and trying to make sure that they were all equal in size, but you want to make sure that everything is symmetrical so that it looks good and it looks professional. You know, if you don't care, that's fine, but I really messed up. Some of them were smaller and some of them were bigger, but I did go back in the end and try to fix it up as much as I could. Once his mouth is completely done, I decided just to use ribbon that I already had on hand for his scarf. I tied a little knot and placed it off to the center so that we had a scarf. I decided to do some rosy cheeks on him, so I'm just using a very light pink acrylic paint. I really had to play around with this because I didn't want it to be too pink, so I would go in with the pink and then go in with the white. I tried to use a sponge to try to blot it. It was pretty hard to get it light and to look like rosy cheeks, but after going over it a couple of times, it ended up working out. To create the stick portions for his hands, I'm just using wire from the Dollar Tree. I'm creating what I call like a fork shape, where it's like three pieces of wire all tied together. If you have like wire cutters or pliers or something that's going to work to shape the wire, that would be a lot easier. I just use my hands. You want to attach it all together, then twist it so that it's nice and tight and it stays together. I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, so for the arm portion, I did 3 things of wire together. As thick as you want it to be is as thick as much wire you need to use. It doesn't matter if it looks perfect because we're going to wrap it in the jute twine, and that makes it look really rustic and farmhouse, and it makes it look so much more professional than it really is. You could probably go out and get sticks from your backyard if you wanted to, but I think that this ended up looking really nicely. So once I have the arms like I need them to be, I'm going to just take my jute twine, start wrapping it around at the bottom using hot glue to secure it, go all the way up his arm to his fingers, every single finger, and then go back down around. The more twine, the sturdier, fuller, thicker it will be, so use as much twine as you think that you would want or you're going to need. Like always when I work with twine here on the channel, I love to light it on fire. It's probably one of the most fun parts about working with twine. So once it's all wrapped, you're going to go ahead and get a lighter or some type of fire source to light the twine. Lighting the twine on fire is going to help hold it all together. It's going to get rid of all of those little frayy, hangy bits, and it's going to make it look really rustic and worn, and I absolutely love this. So I do this for both arms. This does not take long at all. This is really, really easy to do once you get the hang of shaping and molding the wire to like the shape that you need it to be. Now for the buttons, I'm just using googly eyes from that same project. I probably should have done this for the mouth before, but I was not thinking about it. I gave it a coat of black chalk paint, let them dry, and then I used them for the buttons. Now to make our snowman stand up, I'm using this sign that was at the Dollar Tree a while ago, and my X-Acto knife. I'm basically digging a divot into the center of this sign so that I can place the snowman right into the center and help it stand up. I'm also going to be using a bookend to keep it up, and I'm going to be just using some hot glue to place everything together. This is going to allow you to be able to have your pumpkin stand up and not have to place it or lean it up against something. It makes it look much more polished, but remember that it has to be up against something so that you can't see the back of it. So I am so happy with the way that this snowman turned out. He looks so good. He's a good size, and you can use him on your fireplace. You may be able to use him outside if you spray him with the sealant, but I'm not sure about that. But you guys can let me know what you think about the snowman. I think he is absolutely adorable, and he does not look like he is from the Dollar Tree. I want to share with you guys how to create these Dollar Tree fabric reindeers. I've seen similar ones at Pier 1, Walmart. I absolutely love them, and I think that they're fantastic. We're going to start with the Dollar Tree baby blanket that's in the buffalo check pattern. We're going to start by creating an outline of the reindeer, the size that you want, the shape that you want, and I just tried to use a reference picture offline, and I just used some of the craft paper from Dollar Tree to create the outline. Once you have the size and the shape, you're going to want to take that and trace that onto your baby blanket, and you're going to want to do 2 of them. This is going to be the actual reindeer that we're going to stuff. You want to go ahead and get some heat and bond, which you can find at Walmart or any craft store. This is an alternative if you don't know how to sew, you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have the patience to sew. This works amazingly, and all you have to do is have an iron. I'll have a previous video where I did a pillow using this method, and I might have walked through it a little bit better, but you basically just want to take little pieces of this heat and bond tape, outline the one bottom of the shape that you're going to be using, and then you're going to place the other portion right on top and use your iron to seal everything. You want to make sure that you leave an opening. I left my opening in the back, which would be his tail, and then we're going to use that portion to stuff the stuffing into the reindeer. So you want to make sure that when you are using your iron, you're lifting up little by little to make sure that there is no openings whatsoever. You want to make sure that it's completely sealed all the way around, because if not, it's not going to look like a reindeer. So once you have everything sealed, you know that there is no openings, and you've let it cool down a little bit, you're going to want to take your hand and flip it inside out. So whatever side you have showing when you're doing the ironing, that is going to be the inside, and the inside is going to be the outside. So make sure you have your best side facing in so that when you flip it out, you you know what I mean? You don't have any marks or stains or anything like that on your fabric. So now we're going to stuff this little cutie. I'm just using stuffing from a Dollar Tree pillow, the fuzzy ones. They have the stuffing inside, so I just cut it open, took that stuffing, and used it inside of my reindeer. I'm making sure to take the stuffing into his head so that his head is nice and full, into his neck, and then into his body. And then you want to make sure to overstuff his body so that when we go to close him, there's stuffing to go all around. I used a Dollar Tree shirt to create his scarf. I cut it to the size that I wanted, and then I used the hem tape to actually seal it all together and make it look more like a scarf. You can use any fabric, pattern, color that you have on hand. I found this shirt at the Dollar Tree, so that's what I used. So now for his legs. I feel like this was the most genius part of it all. I kept on looking like, how am I going to get these legs and how am I going to get it to stand upright? Well, we're going to be using pencils. Dollar Tree sells packs of these just regular number 2 pencils. We're going to use 4 of them, and our old favorite, Old Faithful jute twine. Jute twine is perfect. If you guys like that farmhouse style, you should have tons and tons of twine in your house. So we're just going to start by wrapping the pencil in the twine. I wrapped it up and down probably a couple times, a good couple times. You know, you want to make sure that it's nice and full. You wrap all 4, and you know what you do next. You light it on fire. Yes, my favorite part. So you want to make sure that you light it so that everything is sealed nice and tight. It's not going to come unraveled. It makes it look aged and worn, and I just love the way that it looks. So I kept my erasers on the bottom. I felt like this was going to help it better to stand up and not slip and slide, so do whatever you see it fit, but the eraser on the bottom did look nice. For our reindeer antlers, I used this willow. You can use whatever you have on hand. This ended up looking nice because it was red. I just cut off little pieces, cut little holes in his head, and then just used hot glue to attach it all. I really like the way that it looked, but if you have a better alternative, let me know in the comment section down below. If something looks more authentic to a reindeer antler, please let me know. Next is a scarf. We just attached that with some hot glue, and I really like the way that that turned out. And I'm going to share with you guys 2 different versions that I did. The thicker, fuller Dollar Tree fabric from the blanket looks so much better. It's not as lumpy and bumpy, but I also used another red shirt to create the red reindeer, and I like the way that he turned out as well. Now for the easiest DIY, I'm going to start with this sign that you can find at Dollar Tree right now. It has the eyelashes and a few of the little scuff markers that you have for like hardwood floors. They have 2 different colors. It comes in a pack of 3. This is the color that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to start by taking that and using the marker all along the sides, the inside, the back side of this Dollar Tree sign. There are some gorgeous gift bags at Dollar Tree right now, so we're going to be using that for the inside of this sign. I'm using a placemat that I cut out to the size of the inside of this sign, and I'm tracing that to make sure that it's the exact right size. And I'm using an X-Acto knife for this just because it's a little bit easier, but I'm going to cut this to the size of the inside. Using some glue, you can either use Mod Podge, I just used regular school glue. I'm going to place the sign on the inside and press it down, making sure that there's no air bubbles. Once the sign is completely dry, you can go ahead and hang it on your wall, or you can use it on a bookcase, in a cubby. I feel like you can use it anywhere, and it goes really well with the other 2 DIYs. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for spending some time with me, guys. This has been a long video, so if you have made it to the end, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a real one. I appreciate all of you. For all of those that are still here and want to use our secret word in the comment section down below, the word this time is cocoa. Leave cocoa in the comment section down below. I'd love to see how you guys use the word. Here are a few from my previous video. Thank you for being here, you guys. Thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for watching. Share the video if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you like it or you plan to do any of these DIYs. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye, you guys.